My earliest memory is riding in my grandfather's boat, arm over the side, hand in the spray. I've spent much of the rest of my life chasing this feeling. All of that has led to this, the wooden boat experience. Let's go, Spec. So it's been a while since I talked to you guys this way. Walking out of the house, heading out towards the boat shed. Not to work on the boat shed, finally, but to work on the boat. I know a lot of you are probably sick of looking at construction videos, and that time is pretty much over with because the boat shed is pretty much finished, at least as much as it's going to be for now. And now what we're doing is restoration work. So we're going to get on the restoration of the 1955 Chris Craft Sea Skiff, and I've been working on that all week. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow the video comes out, so Speckles and I are going to get to work again today. Stripping paint is a great way to get your head back into a project. Immediate results and progress. Always good. I set up a temporary scaffolding, so much more comfortable than standing on a ladder, at least for me. This small scraper you see me using here for the paint is not the only tool that I use for paint scraping. It depends on the situation and the type of paint. Underneath the 4 layers of gray paint that I'm scraping off, there is a white primer. I'm not sure if it's going to come off all the way, so some of this may have to remain painted. I had to switch gears here for a minute, crawl under the bow, and get rid of this plastic vent hose connector. I think this deck may have been varnished at one point, because underneath the paint, every once in a while, I seem to be scraping varnish away. Here are all the tools I use for scraping on this boat. Whoa! Let's hold up and go through these one at a time. A large paint scraper on the left, then a putty knife, kind of old and worn out, but works really well. 2 little picks, one angled and one not, and 2 small paint scrapers. One has a little bit different blade than the other one, but they both have the corners rounded off, and including the large scraper as well, so they don't dig into the wood. And of course, there's the Porter cable heat gun. Okay, let's get back to it. Now to get the prop and shaft out of the boat, which I kind of left after I was pulling the transom apart last time. Tom Neely graciously let me use his prop puller. The prop puller kit did not include this custom brass spacer made out of an old lock that had been cut apart. It worked quite well. So this is not the prop for the shaft, but this little piece in there makes it into the right thing. Interesting. And this cutlass bearing looks real bad, so we're going to have to replace that for sure. This is an actual Chris Craft part here, so it probably is original. And now we'll pull the shaft out. I was smart. I loosened the backing lid. I'm sure a few of you were thinking that already. Grab the other wrench. Yeah, wishful thinking. Help if I went the right way. Stubborn little bugger. And there we have it. Sometimes a utility knife, or just the blade itself, is the best way to remove varnish, especially on a round wood profile. So this is a fun spot to get into. Wedge your way up in here and you can see these different spots all the way around through. It's where the windshield is tied down. And this is the color of the back of this board is original, sort of a dash. This deck, I believe, has been changed. Does not look like original color to me. One thing that struck me as a little odd was the last screw for the windshield is right about here. There wasn't anything back here, and I was wondering because the back of this was kind of lifted up and a little bit loose. But that's because this board is missing on that side. And this board has a screw right here that's holding the back. We need to make a new one of these, put it over there, and solve that problem. So I think we talked about this before, but this is a fixed windshield, which means that unlike a lot of wooden boats, you can't tilt the windshields up to let air in. And the ones I've seen that have been changed over, they end up putting, and let me grab the camera here. They end up putting a hinge right here, and then they retrofit the windshield. I don't know if they cut this out or how it was done, or if it was even done at the factory because people complained. But they hinge up here and they open up. The problem is I don't like the big hinge on the face of this. This is a pretty elegant looking rounded windshield, and I really don't want to do that. But I also don't want to have everybody in the boat be uncomfortable. Tighten that down. So what I'm thinking is, I used to love it when my cars had vent windows. I'm thinking about splitting this, putting a piece of wood here, or possibly like this. I'm not sure. I'll have to play around with the angle a little bit. I can get this to stick. And put a strip of wood here. This would be fixed. This would be hinged. And this little vent would open up on both sides, driver's side and the passenger side, or port and starboard, however you want to say it, and drive some air in here so it was a little cooler in the summertime, especially if you had this top up which attaches to the top of here and goes up. It really would let some air in and make a big difference. So I've taken these screws out here. You can see this is loose already. But now let's go to time lapse. Let's get this windshield off. Well, that was stupid. Mixed a screw there and a screw there. I saw them down there, but in the spot they were in, they didn't look like they belonged to the windshield. I thought it was all this varnish and crap that was holding the windshield on, but come to find out it was those two screws. So we'll just have to relocate those when we put it back together. King plank looks good. Don't see any rot there. We'll be able to clean this up, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have to paint this deck area here. But we can finish these pieces around it bright, finish the windshield bright, finish the king plank bright, and the piece up there. Just trying to, we got a little drips coming down from the ceiling because I haven't put plastic up here yet, which I'm gonna do. So just trying to protect this wood. That's why this plastic is sitting here. All right, back to a little bit more stripping. And we gotta go get some hay for the goats. Okay, well that's enough of me and the boat getting dripped on. Let's get this plastic up. And now you're going to get rid of that ugliness. Yeah, we don't want that. I want a nice dashboard, flat, like an older boat should have. All the gauges right there. Well, that's one piece finished, and quite a few left to go. All old boats seem to have plenty of extra through-hull fittings that need to be gotten rid of. And here again are the tips for saving silicone bronze screws when you take them out. Use the pick, clean all the varnish or paint or bottom paint or filler or whatever's in the screw head. Clean that out. Put in a Phillips head screwdriver. Give it a couple of taps with a hammer to seat it in there nicely, and then turn it out by hand. Do not use an electric screwdriver or an impact gun. You'll just destroy the head. And of course you want to keep them. I keep a box of these old screws around in the drawer because you never know where you might need a screw that has a patina and looks like it belongs there, rather than a brand new silicone bronze that's too shiny and too obviously new. There's nothing wrong with it. Why not use it again? Here is the bow light and the rudder shaft log. And this drawer is Chris Craft parts. You can see a lot of the stuff we already pulled out. Some stuff that needs to be re-chromed or at least cleaned up. And we're starting to get the fasteners organized, which is good. And now here we are at Thursday again. I vacuumed, pulled boards, old screws, marked locations. I'm trying to strip the insides down, clean it, and survey what needs to be replaced. This boat has already been vacuumed, cleaned out, and power washed, and it's still a mess inside. Still a lot to do to get it clean enough for paint. No major surprises, except for one morning this week when we went outside to find this. I've never been this close to a porcupine before, and I'm not getting any closer. Thank goodness I didn't let Speckles out on his own and have him get into the thing. That would have really thrown a monkey wrench into a day of boat work. I'll see you next week on the Wooden Boat Experience.